Welcome to Prana Talk TV. I'm Shana Dean and
Elitom, El-amin.
welcome everybody. Today we are talking about the magical mysteries of water, but more than that. Did you know that water can be programmed? I'm sure everybody knows that by now, but it also has memory and consciousness, and it changes, and it can change everything around it. So let's dive right in. What do you think, Elitom?
Oh man, this is awesome. This is why we're saying it. We want people to really realize this so they can learn to take advantage of it. Use this power, use this energy, this resource that's all around us, even in the air itself.
Right, right. So water has so many different forms, right? It's in its fluid state, it's frozen, stagnant state, and then it's also in the air as vapor. Right?
Absolutely. And see, and water is the only liquid on the planet that could go to those different states.
I think it's the only thing on the planet. Did you know that water is the only element that actually expands when it freezes? Everything else doesn't.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating. Anyway, the reason why we're bringing this up is because it has such a huge implication in your life. If you are aware of the memory that the water picks up that you're drinking, that you're bathing in, that your body is composed of, then you start to realize, and the water that's in the air and the environment around you, if you realize that, then you realize you actually have an influence on all of that, whether it's positive or negative or high vibrational or distorted, however you want it to be, but you can be a conscious creator with the water that is in your life.
That is awesome. I mean, I'm mind blown right now just by you saying that. But this is why we're saying it, so people can notice. You can program the water around you. So not only like what I teach the breath theory of knowledge, or we teach it, we're telling people that they're like a biocomputer, a bio machine. So now what you're telling me is the environment around you is like a biocomputer, bio machine. You are influencing it, programming it based on the energy that's coming off of you.
Absolutely. And not just that, everybody knows that you're about what, 70–75% water?
Right.
Well,
man.
Let's think about the brain alone. The brain floats in fluid. Your head is literally filled with water.
Right.
Aside from the fact that your brain itself is made of water, right? So what kind of programming do you want to program in your brain alone? Let alone other organs and your body, right?
Right. Because we keep talking about frequency and vibration. That's like the new age word that we're using right now. Frequency, vibration, energy, and water attracts light to it. That's a scientific fact. Water attracts light. And if you're made of mostly water, not only you're attracting light, and you just said the key words, how do you want to program the light that's in you? Your brain is sitting there in this fluid. So that means even when you're not unconsciously thinking about something, the program is there. So you're basically asking the question, what type of program do you want to come off of your body unconsciously?
Right, right. Oh my gosh, this is like such an exciting talk. First of all, a lot of what we're going to talk about today is based on a documentary that you can see for free on YouTube, and it's called Water, the Great Mystery. So we will actually put a link on the bottom of this video so you can watch that documentary.
Right.
It's definitely worth looking at. But I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Dr. Emoto, who took images of the water molecules after you said certain words to it, like love, right? Where the molecules become really beautiful and crystalline, or if you said hate, they become all distorted and unattractive, right? So a lot of this is based on that research, but it goes beyond that, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
beyond that.
Beyond that, there's a study done where they took water and rice in a cup, and they had two different cups, and one they said love to, I think, I don't remember the exact words, but they said something positive like love, and the other something negative, and the cup that had the positive affirmations and the words, it started to ferment and turn into something really useful for the human body, you know, right?
Oh,
and the one that did not receive positive affirmations, actually received negative affirmations, started to mold.
oh, absolutely. There's so many examples of this. Now, even on like how you bringing up these different experiments, they got two different plants where school kids are doing the same thing.
Right.
One grows, one dies. But if a person don't believe that, let's go to everyday life with people. If you sit up there and keep giving this person negativity, you can hurt them very badly by keep saying bad things to them.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because it was also shown in studies that households where people swear a lot, it actually affected the water and the health of the people drinking that water. The water had memory, and it was programmed with the energy of those swear words.
Right. Oh, so basically you're programming your environment, your personal space. See, people need to learn this. And keep in mind, like usually when I'm teaching the different meditations, and I'll say something to people like, you're living in an ocean full of energy. Listen how I use that word, ocean full of energy. So even on the journey, people say, you don't need to drink water either. You're living in water.
Right. You are water. You're breathing water in the air. I mean, water is everywhere. Right? You can't
blow on your hand. It's always moist.
Right.
It's moist every time. Water.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So think about this. How many times do we reach for a glass of water, for those people who are drinking water, right? I'm sure everybody is. And you're not aware of what you've spoken around that water. You're not aware of what kind of energy you're putting off from your emotions around that water. Let's say you have water next to your desk at work and you spent the whole day, you know, stressed out over what you're doing, and you're drinking that water.
Oh man.
You program that water with stress. Let's say you just had an argument with someone and you have a water glass. It's now in that water and you drink it. Right? So
this is awesome.
This is important because the water, you can think of it as a conscious being in the same way you would, you know, a plant, right?
Absolutely. You could kill water or you can bring it back to life.
Yes. Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. So the water that comes through our municipal systems, right, our water treatment facilities, there's a lot of right angles, and the water just comes out energetically dead. I think they did studies just about this with Kirlian photography, where you can actually see the energy coming off the water. They do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Food, by the way, you can see energy coming off of fruits because those are pranic foods, as opposed to, let's say, a French fry, which is just dead and there's nothing in it. So
right.
same thing with water. You can see the energy in water. If you've had water coming out of your tap with all these right angles going through miles and miles and miles of city plumbing, the water is not going to be alive, even though it might be filtered.
Oh my gosh, right.
So how do we restructure it? How do we re-enliven it, right? For one, we oh, yes?
Oh, go ahead. Well, I told you one day that I actually met the water queen. Now, the water queen is a friend of mine in Israel, but she was telling me about her water at their family house. You know, and I'm just laughing with her because I don't believe it. But one day I went over there and she got her husband, the two children as they're raising them, but everybody's on board on cultivating the water in their household. So they had a place in the kitchen where they actually had dolphins and different pictures looking at the water and different beautiful words on it. And they had an agreement that if anybody's in a bad mood, don't go in that area of the kitchen where the water's at. Oh, this is powerful. They're exercising it. See, we can talk the knowledge, but like I tell people, start exercising and start seeing the fruits of how your life starts changing with different thought processes. If you don't exercise, it's just talk. It's just knowledge. But just do it. And I did it on my journey. I used to carry around something and I'll have a word on it. Positive, putting my energy into it. If you practice Reiki, you could charge up the water.
Yes. Oh my gosh, there's so many things I want to say about this. So first of all, because I practice Reiki and I've been doing it for a long, long time, I can see energy. So after watching this video, I thought, I'm going to try this experiment with the rice. Okay. So I put one cup of rice in one cupboard, and I spoke love to it. And I put another cup of rice in another cupboard, and I spoke things. I basically decided to use the word destruction, because a lot of people are saying that we're destroying the earth. And I thought, gee, we're actually putting that mantra, that prayer out, we're destroying the earth. Guess what? That will be a self-fulfilled prophecy, because we are putting that on the earth. So it's best we stop all that. Right, and start speaking about the earth being whole and perfect and beautiful, just the way she is. But anyway, I thought I would compare the two. And do you know what ended up happening? Is when I would open up the cupboard that had the rice that I was saying the word destruction to, I realized that everything else in that cupboard was also receiving that energy imprint in that program. And I realized that it wasn't just water that has memory, and not just water that's holding this energy. Everything does.
Everything.
All inanimate objects do. Everything does. And I actually had to stop with my experiment, because I didn't want to put that kind of energy into that space, because then I knew I'd have to go back in and fix it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad you're bringing this up. Now, this isn't far-fetched. Let's bring it down to earth, so people can realize this. All physical objects have an electromagnetic field.
Yes. And
both living and unanimated.
You can see it when you get used to working with energy. You can actually see the energy. I could feel that cupboard get darker and darker and darker energetically. The vibration got lower and slower. And I thought, oh, I really need to stop this. Who am I to speak this in my home? I'm not.
Absolutely. And I'm glad how you said you could see it. There's some people who can see it, or just people that's good that can feel it. Or if you're not at that level, I'm glad in the age we live in now, we do get devices that can show you the energy off of all the objects. We got it out there. You can order one. You know what I mean? We're in a good age. So we're not making this up. So that's why in olden times, and even today, you'll go get the priest to come bless the house. You pray over it and bless the food. See, those are rituals we've been doing, but now it's making sense, especially for people in the energy community, the light community. They've been new. Let me put positive energy in the food before I eat it. Let me put positive energy into my space. Let me clean it with some sage. Let me clean it with some chants. And it changes the whole atmosphere. Your thoughts is programming your whole atmosphere around you. You create your reality.
Everything. And in every religion around the world, people bless their food and their drink.
Oh man, this is good.
So bless your food and your drink, right? There's also another amazing story in this documentary that I'd love for people to see. And some people I believe they were in a boat and they were stranded in the ocean for 3 weeks. And when they came ashore, everyone wondered, how did they survive? Well, they visualized and they fantasized and they imagined that the oceanic water around them was fresh. It's the power of praying and meditating, also in a group too. And so what they did is when they reached in and they drank the water, it tasted fresh and it kept them alive.
Oh, absolutely.
They were no longer drinking salt water. So that is how powerful your mind is.
The mind is so powerful. Even today's modern science, the foundation of study now is dealing with consciousness. Where else you going to go? That's the final frontier. It ain't the geo no more or space. It's right here.
It's right here. It's your higher consciousness. It's amazing because what we can do and what we can change. Imagine if you consciously said, all the water in the air that I breathe, I'm now programming with love and light and nourishment.
Exactly. And see, this is why I told people too, the reason why I'm a breatharian is because it's the way I think.
Yes.
It wasn't the technique. The technique just helped you, with the breath work, doing this and that, so you can build up your confidence. You got to grow, you got to work, because you're breaking your fear. You're breaking your limitations. But once you start realizing what you can do and start exercising it, there's really no such thing as a miracle. It's actually, that's the way things are supposed to be. Exactly. Oh, did we say this?
Exactly. Well said. I love it. So,
oh man.
Oh my gosh. So if you can affect, let's say, a glass of water sitting next to you based on your words and your energy and your consciousness, how do you think you're affecting the person sitting next to you? How
Oh
do you
man.
think, I mean, just with the word. So be mindful
Mm-hmm.
of what you speak, really,
Mm-hmm.
truly. And by the way, and if you have anything negative to say and there's a glass of water sitting next to you, you may not want to drink that water until you reactivate it.
Oh man, this goes so deep.
So how
So
do we
that's what.
reactivate it? Let's talk about that for a second, right?
Oh, exactly. Right.
Tell it you love it. Do you know what? When Dr. Emoto looked at water molecules, he wanted to find out what made water the clearest, cleanest, high vibrational. He wanted to know what word was that one word that would
Oh
do
man.
that. And you know what he found out in his studies? That it wasn't one word, it was actually two words put together. Do you know what they were?
Oh, let's go for it.
Love
Mm-hmm.
and gratitude.
Oh man, those are the two foundations. Those hold a frequency within themselves. See, thoughts hold frequencies. Let's say that again. Thoughts hold frequencies.
Yeah. Oh, I can
And we
feel
in the,
that. You can feel it.
and we and we in the age now. They do got information out there showing you the different emotions and what frequency it has. Usually, like when a person's happy, you can feel it come off of their whole body. Usually, negative emotions and frequencies will come off of different places within the body. But when you're dealing with love, happiness, gratitude, it's a frequency that comes off of the whole body.
On the heart.
So one day I was exactly. One day I was talking to a person and I felt that, and I said they are genuinely happy because I could feel the energy how it was coming off of their body. Oh man, this is good.
I love it. I love it. So you can reprogram your water by telling you love it or feeling love or just saying love, gratitude. Say it to your water as you shower in the morning. If you take a bath, program your bath water with
Oh man.
gratitude and peace and joy and all of that. Just every single time you see water, bless it. Bless your bath
Every time.
every time and program it. So
Right.
if you could turn salt water into fresh water, why can't you turn air into something that's nourishing?
Absolutely, because the air has everything you need when you know.
When you know.
Mhm.
Right.
It has everything you need.
And for
This
those
is
of
the
you
whole teaching.
who are water fasting, you can say this glass of water is going to give me everything I need, right? You just
Absolutely.
that, and that's going to be equivalent to a meal until you realize you can let that go too, because you've programmed yourself for something higher and higher and higher. Now, of course, that process don't force
Everything is mental.
It's all in your higher consciousness.
Because this air that we live in, it is not empty space. Just because you're dealing with forces you can't see, taste, or smell does not mean it's not there.
Right.
It's based off of your thought. It's giving you your every command.
Yes.
Oh, this is good, ain't it?
So
your
now
every command.
Your every command. So if your organs are made of water, then of course you could program your organs.
Oh man.
Digestive system. Let's produce energy without food. How's about that for a command?
This is awesome.
Heart.
But this is real, what we're saying.
It's real. That's how you have spontaneous healing, right?
Give me everything I need. You got to start claiming it, saying it, thinking it over and over till it's going through every cell of the body, the mind of the cells. Oh, this is good.
This is
oh man.
This is also a good message to stay as positive as you possibly can, because you're not only affecting the water that's in your environment and the air and the atmosphere and people around you, you're affecting your own body and your brain and the fluid that's floating in and everything is affected. So the more positive you can be, your whole entire life will change.
I had a student that I was talking to, and they actually said to another student, this is what they said. They said, thinking positive is mandatory if you want to be healthy.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's affecting your organs. What else you going to do? It's a must. There ain't no debate.
Yeah. I'm going to take that a step further and say being positive is mandatory for being a human.
Oh, man.
It's mandatory for being a steward of the earth, for being part of the universe. It is just mandatory. You know why? Because it's actually your natural state of being. So when you're positive, you are expressing your true essence. If you're being
Absolutely.
less than that, you're not connecting to your higher consciousness and your higher self and your true spirit.
Well, absolutely, all the way.
All the way.
And I hope people can start exercising this more and more. Now, there's another good thing coming out of fear-based frequency and all this other stuff. And when you're coming into this lifestyle, life always goes good. Now listen at this. And you might not believe it at first. I heard people say that they're still looking around the corner for something to happen. It can't be this easy. It can't be this simple, but it is. But the more you stay on the journey, and it gets better and better and better, because that's how life's supposed to be. It's the natural state of being a true human being.
Yes. And I love what you said, how people are looking around the corner. I guarantee you will always find what you look for. So if you look for the negative or you look for the other shoe to fall, so to speak, most likely you will find it.
Absolutely.
So look.
It'll find you.
Yeah, you'll connect somehow. So look for that which makes you feel on fire, excited. Look for that what makes you feel inspired, happy. Look for that.
Absolutely. Oh man, this is so good. And see how we started out with the water, then we went to everything. Because that's what the word universe means. Uni means one, and then it got verse. The universe is everything: the plants, the trees, the ground, the water, the people, the animals, the planets, the stars, the sun, everything.
Everything. And I'm so glad you brought up the universe, because, you know, Native American thought is that water is very similar to the universe in that it flows like the universe. And if you pay attention to water, you can see the way the universe works, right? It spirals, it flows, it waves, right? The universe works this way. So when we have water, for example, that's going through right angles, or just stagnant, that's not part of its natural essence of spirit and universe and cosmic forces, right? So we want to keep our water flowing, and in our bodies too, which is why we need movement for our bodies, right? So not just speaking kind things to our water, but also keeping it in flow and restructuring it that way as well.
That's what it's all about.
It's all like that, yeah.
Sickness, illness, and disease is the stagnation of energy flow. Energy flows like water.
Yes, yeah, the whole universe.
Did we say this? You get healthy when you understand the flow, and you get the flow flowing like it's supposed to. Oh man, are we saying this?
I love it.
Those are the rules. When you learn the rules of the game becomes fun.
Yeah. When
you don't know the rules,
you're gonna hit a few right angles, let's just say that. You want to stay in the flow.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. This isn't no new age stuff. This is how it's been all along.
Right. We just haven't noticed. You haven't noticed. So
oh man,
you can run your own test, you know, tell the water that you love it and drink it and see how you feel, versus water that should have just been sitting around, you know, kind of sitting there.
Right.
You know, how does it look to you? Like I can actually see the vibrancy, the energy coming off of it. I can tell if something's been sitting around for a while, you know.
Oh man, this is something. And water is the greatest soluble on the planet. Greatest soluble on the planet. Now I said all that to say this, and you brought up water fast earlier. Man, you do a 7-day water fast, 3-day water fast, it'll just purge all of those stuff out of the pipes, out of it, clean you out, your eyes will clear up, your skin will change, your cells will regenerate. Tested on many different levels. And when you do that water fast, program it.
Yes, and right now, start programming everything. Just be a conscious human light being, because that's what you are, right? We're moving from Homo sapien to Homo luminous. So that is mean that you are embracing your higher consciousness and how you affect everything around you. So you don't just take that information and say, oh, that's interesting, and go about your day. No, you put it into practice. You experience it. You say, right now, this plant has water. I love you. Right. I love the air. I'm going to program it with everything I need to flourish and be happy. If you're sad, program the air for happiness. If you're tired, program the air for rejuvenation, right? Program.
Exactly. See, what you said was like, we're light beings, we're energy beings. Now, for the average person, they don't understand it due to, their day-to-day life on how it's going, but you hear it. But what you said is a scientific fact. We're in the age, go search. It's going to keep coming up. You are a light being. You are an energy being. E equals MC squared. Everything is energy. You're here, right? You are energy.
Absolutely.
Let's say it. So work on an energetic level.
Yes. Everything is energetics. Yes. This is why I love Reiki, being an energy healer, right? Mm-hmm. The same thing. Our thoughts are energy. The water's energy. So are we flowing with the universe? Are we being highly conscious creators? That's what you are. You're a creator. So the question is, what are you creating, and are you aware that you're creating in every second of your life with your thoughts, your words, and your actions? You are creating.
You are creating. Oh man, this is awesome. Oh man.
So good.
This is so good. Voila.
I love it. Well, thank you everyone for taking this beautiful, flowy, watery journey with us through the high cosmic consciousness that we all
absolutely
are. Yes.
Everything is mental. That's an ancient saying. Everything is mental. Everything is conscious. It worked then, and it works now. This is what we're talking about. It really, truly works. Get educated, learn, and start working with the light. Perfect practice make perfect. And you'll become better and better and better till you had that aha moment and say, oh, this is how things work. And life will be so easy and smooth when you're in tune and alignment on how energy flows.
Yes. And you will watch your body, your environment, and your whole life become sparklier and sparklier and sparklier and brighter and brighter and lighter. And it is pure magic.
Absolutely. Pure magic. which is the root word of imagination.
Oh, I love that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to do our next talk on that. Magic and imagination. Love it.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a beautiful day and just go about your day being the conscious, magical, imaginative creator that you are.
All right. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings, love and gratitude to you. Bye.